You can be on the...
Do you know where the remote is? I looked all over the house.
Slow down, Tito. Slow down, Tito. Damn! Is that my uncle that's sitting on the curb?
Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Robert Smith, and you're on my new podcast, Transparency with Robert Smith, where I have everyday conversations with everyday guests from different backgrounds, religions, and cultures. And unfortunately, I'm going to have some millennials on here too, so yeah, look forward to expect that. I'm really excited to start my new podcast where you guys are going to get a little bit light information about how crazy I am inside my head with each guest that comes on. Right now, I'm going to shoot over to my producer, Nate. What's up, Nate? Can you mention a promo that we have going on today?
I sure do. Thank you, Robert, for passing it over. So, in honor of Robert's starting his new podcast, you know, it takes a little bit of help from listeners, friends, whoever listens to the podcast. So, right off the back, if you want to support Robert and his show and the podcast network that he has his show on, you can help out by shopping with Amazon. Your everyday Amazon needs. If you need textbooks for summer school, if you need textbooks for the upcoming semesters, shop through Amazon through our promotion code, which is SK Podcasts. That's spelled out podcasts with an S at the end, -20. And if that's too tough for you, you can head over to SpaceKaijuProductions.com. There's an Amazon banner at the top of the page. What you can do is, I just want to walk you guys through this here. So if you have your cart filled already, all you got to do is go to the website, click through that banner, then go. It'll send you right back to Amazon. Then you go right back to your cart and you hit purchase. And
sounds pretty simple, right?
It's pretty simple. So we basically get commission off of whatever you need in your life. So that's the way you can help this podcast grow. And
help us, we're poor.
I mean, for now, and the dream is to kind of like, you know, build up with this podcast network I've been working on, and kind of rent out a real studio so that I'm not moving on the go. So that's the plans for the future. So tossing it right back over to you, Robert.
Excellent. And I caught it. And guys, so we're here again with Transparency with Robert Smith, and I'm on with my first guest, and I'm so excited to introduce her. Her name is Paola. She is literally the most craziest person I know, and my dear friend. So I'm really excited to talk to her, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. I'm so excited. I'm here with my guest right now, Paola. How are you doing today?
Hey guys.
That's funny. How's your day?
It's pretty good.
That's good. Aren't you excited to be here right now?
Uh-huh.
That's good. And we're here with our producer, Nathan Torres. He is just in the background with us, watching us weirdly. So I'm excited, Paula. This is my first episode. This is a pilot episode. How do you feel right now?
I'm nervous.
Are you really?
A little bit.
I just want to talk to you, you know?
Okay.
I love talking to you.
Like, I don't. No, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm not paying you, so.
Kind of need that.
Okay. Sounds like a personal problem. So, Paula, we haven't been friends too long, but I feel like we're incredibly close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long has it been? Like
6 months.
6 months. Well, it's a little bit longer.
No.
When did you start? Don't say the company. When did you start there?
I think we met. I want to say it wasn't December. It was like January.
Okay.
So
we met at work, so we worked together, and
it's been like 5 months.
We just like
kicked it off.
Yeah. Oh, and you came to my birthday too. That was a surprise. You text me and you were like, "Hey, I'm not coming."
I'm not coming to your birthday, and you were like, "Ew."
And then I was so distracted because I was texting you right there, and I walked in, and you were like right there.
Yeah.
With some guy. Lovely life. And yeah, so okay. So do you have an idea what we're gonna talk about today?
No.
Ooh, I have one. I think it's gonna be called social media. I'm really excited to talk about social media. Do you like social media?
I do.
What do you like about social media?
I think it's cool that you're able to like express yourself, but pieces of your life, not everything.
Do you think some people take it too far when they? Because I see people like a diary, especially on Facebook. It's like calling like too much sometimes. Like there's this one girl. Oh my god! Like she talks about she vents angrily from there, and I'm just like, what is that a word? Angrily?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's after 5 seconds. So she vents angrily about her life, and it's so annoying. One time I just called her, I messaged her, and I was like, hey, you don't have to always express everything that you're feeling if you're upset every moment on social media to people you don't know or kind of know. And she was like, I know, I need to stop, I feel bad. And then she told everyone, she's like, I'm going on a break. She left.
That's like a
30.
personal thing because some people use social media as an outlet to like express their feelings. Like
Mhm.
not everyone has like friends like you and I that I can call you and be like, "Hey, Robert, my life is falling apart."
Yeah.
Where some people would rather do that, like where they're gonna get either no judgment because
Yeah.
you know what I mean, it's an open outlet, or just a way to like feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like a
That's true. And unfortunately, it just kind of like I think people like express what they're like. They kind of like portray what they're going through in lives because
Mhm.
if people have the low lack of that dependable friends around them, they'll
Mhm.
just express with that outlet of social media.
Yeah.
So in a way, it kind of compensates, but it's kind of a little out of hand sometimes. So
I think it's like a personal thing. Like for me, I don't express everything on there just because that's the person I am. Like I'd rather
Uh-huh.
call you or call someone.
yeah,
But I'm saying like, what if I didn't have you guys? I think it's easier to just like express myself and feel like someone's gonna be there for me because people
Yeah.
will reply and be like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
okay, whatever."
yeah.
So if I feel like if people don't have that, it's like helpful for them because they're able to like get some type of feedback and communicate with others.
What's really cool with social media is that me being an old fort, because I'm like literally like gonna die in like 10 years because I'm so old. I seen it before social media. Like I
Mhm.
seen
Yeah.
social media evolve and happen right in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
And I think more so of course you've seen it, but you kind of like live more in social media. Would you say?
Yeah, because I feel like the earliest thing that I saw was like 16, MySpace.
Oh my god, dude, MySpace, where you can like customize music, dude, throwback right now.
That was like my favorite thing.
Oh my god, that was the favorite thing. You can go to people's page and it top 10.
I
Top
would
10.
spend hours like fixing my background and like
Oh.
changing music and then giving people. Do you
Oh,
remember
that's
you
when
give
like
people
the season
shout-outs?
where famous was so infinite. Like the word famous, the like you can like
Oh,
do
yeah.
the different graphics.
Yeah.
Did like what is this the brand called? Like it's like the lions and tigers. Ed Hardy was like
Oh,
really
yeah.
hot then. Oh my
And like
god.
gems,
Like what?
like the gems, like the sparkles.
Oh yeah. Everything was bedazzled. Everybody like bedazzled everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a dark time. That's hilarious. I think one of my favorite things about social media, which is really like sucky. Yeah, of course you connect, but I like the thought of getting like likes, It's really bad, but it kind of like boosts me. Like when I get a like for certain things. Actually, I posted a picture. I didn't get a lot of likes today. I'm gonna cry in a fetus position today.
Me all the time.
So why isn't that weird how I wanted to bring this up specifically about social media, the reaction of people not getting likes from that, like
If I can intervene real quick, just the instant gratification. Like
That's a thing.
yeah.
Is that a millennial thing or is that just?
yeah, it's definitely a
Okay,
millennial
first of
thing.
all, you're not
No,
allowed to
that's a
say
thing.
that.
Like that's literally a thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Because me deletes pictures when I don't get enough likes.
Yeah.
I'll like archive them or something.
I do that all the time, and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? Like, what the fuck? Like,
But if you realize it, like I don't like a lot of people's pictures just because I don't like them. Like I'll just like scroll through and it's whatever.
do you feel like sometimes you have to like connect with people and just be like have to follow each other and not really care about what their content they produce?
What do you mean?
Like, so I go to church a lot,
Mhm.
and I have a lot of friends that follow me and I follow them,
Mhm.
but I don't really care for them. Not in a mean way. I just don't really care about the lives.
So is it for likes?
It's not for likes. I just feel like we just have to share context because we know of each other. Do I necessarily care what's going on in life? No. But I always
Oh,
get like
yeah.
their views.
Yeah.
Like they're always looking at firstly looking at my stories. And I don't really care for them. I'm not looking to like delete them, but we do
Mhm.
it because we end up running to each other. It's like you have to be associated with each other. We
Yeah.
have to have each other's social media
Yeah.
to an extent. That's really weird. I'm weird. Yeah.
I just won't add you back.
Okay. So let me ask you, how many social media platforms do you have?
2 I think. 2 that I mainly use: Instagram and Snapchat.
Okay.
And Snapchat's a little like whatever now because of the
yeah.
ads.
It's like, they
They have ads.
Dude,
Yeah.
Snapchat, I thought for sure was gonna go down, like be done by the end of last year.
Same.
But that what is it? The gender reverse, like the filter when you like the guy looks like the girl.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that like kind of brought them back. But I don't even use Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat because I have friends who don't have Instagram, and I just post on there. Peasants.
Yeah, that's all I have. Just Instagram and Snapchat.
I have Facebook. I like Facebook because you can like follow good dog videos. And then so you have this thing on Facebook where they show videos, and when you click in the video, it gives you like a link to all these videos, and that keeps me up at night because I watch and Facebook always makes me cry.
Ooh, okay, wait. I remembered Instagram was doing this thing. They were debating if they should take away likes from you being able to view it. Like, so say I post a picture and it says like, 18 likes.
Uh-huh.
You can't see that, but I can. and people were like very like iffy about it. Like, oh, should they be able to take that off or no?
I think it's genius.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Do you get what it means? Like,
Yeah.
you don't get to see the interaction.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And people were so pissed, saying like, why would you delete that? But it's like that would help people just create content without having to worry like, oh, did I get this many likes or not?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Let's
think
see.
it's a good thing.
I
to
kind
do.
of would like to still have it. I like the thought of seeing people get the likes and stuff like that.
That wouldn't make you feel better though, because you're not worrying about like, oh, I only got like a little bit of likes on this picture. That sounds really like sad, because I feel like people will be like, oh, social media is all about likes, but it kind of is. Like,
But you know what,
you need
like-
to think of it like that.
No,
Because
yeah, but it
going
is, though.
forward, our minds are not supposed to be doing these types of things.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. I think social media is a lie itself. I think social media is this platform that's used to portray this perspective of yourself to others, and it's not really the truth. I think we only have a tendency to show like the good parts of who we are and not the whole parts of who we are.
but would you post the bad parts? I wouldn't. Like, I don't trust people enough to open up.
I
And
think I
share
know
that.
some people who don't care about certain pictures they post, and they're very secure. But those people don't have a high they don't have a high number of friends or high number of likes, but they're content, you know. And if you notice that people with high likes, influencers, yeah, that word. They have. It's like this strive for perfection of pictures. It's never like an angle where you can see like a chin fat, or you never seen a bad picture of them. And you think like behind the scenes how much it goes into that process, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just think that people on social media only want to show this angle and this perspective of what they think, what they want you to see, you know? And they freak out like if you tag them in a photo like that. It's like, well, I'm sure you're that person.
That's me.
That's
I untag
that's me
myself.
too.
I'm not gonna.
I have
expose
that
myself.
thing where I gotta get approved if you do it on. Oh no, that's on Facebook. So I actually went back and I had all these people trying to tag me. I didn't even know that.
delete.
Right? It's so bad. Anyway, it's a lie. But I like social media. Sometimes I found myself connecting with people I haven't met in person. That's really cool.
Mhm.
And you can see like far parts of the world that you never imagined seeing. But that kind of makes me
I was
sad.
like, that makes me depressed because I've never like.
But okay, this makes me
experienced
sad
that.
for the reason because I don't like. I get bored. I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful, but I'm over it. You know? like-
places. Or
Yeah. Like
people?
if I see travel places, I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful, but like, what else is next? You know?
I just feel like people follow different things on social media. Like some people will follow like landscapes and dogs and like different things, which is fine. Like who do you follow? Because for me, I just follow like influencers. That's it.
Oh no, not. I mean, I
my
follow
friends.
a handful of influencers, but I also do like travel, and I follow people with like certain workouts, and I follow like pets. I have this thing where I like. It's weird. Like you grow this like connection, and I don't even know you, and with certain people, and like oh, they just got engaged, or they just got a relationship, or they lost weight. You know, they got a new, you build, and you feel so happy like a friend. And I think that's really cool how we can come together with that, even though they never talk to you. But I think that's really unique. You know, social media is fun. I like it. I honestly, I don't know if I can get off social media. I can admit
I don't think
that.
I can. That sounds so sad that you can't like delete an app that it revolves
can't.
like your life revolves that much like
Dude,
around
it
it.
sucks. Well, at work, I actually, I think you.
Like what's the longest you've gone without?
Okay, well, let's just mention this. I woke up to messages that you messaged me at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't check it till like 9 because I was at work. I actually work now.
Mhm.
So I don't even pick up my phone. And so it's not like I can't either. I can like use my phone anytime.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Like, but I said it to say my habits are usually go straight to like Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
really bad. The Bible
I
app
could
is
have
like,
been
hey,
dying at 1 a.m. and he's like not checking till hours later.
moving on.
I think it's also important to point out that it's okay to detox from social media.
Ooh, how long do you think a detox should be?
Oh, I mean, I've done it 3 months.
that's
3 months.
that's not even
Oh,
detox.
I've
That's
never-
like you cleanse your whole.
Yeah, I
and
unfortunately I
everything
feel like
from
I
social
Sage,
media.
yeah, he did.
It's important because I think when it comes to the point where you're so stuck to it, where say I'm being totally transparent.
Wait, why
here,
did you do it though?
Because like sitting on the toilet, like wasting time.
Yeah.
Like we're so like me, like I'm so passionate about like podcasting, for
Mhm.
example, and I caught myself, slowing myself down. like realizing like gawking over like people like, oh, I want to do podcasts like these people, like
Oh, yeah.
scrolling
Like comparing yourself.
Exactly. And that's necessarily the evil of social media. We need to stop comparing ourselves to other people, or like having high expectations of like, we want to go here, I want to experience this like them.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own path, and
Yeah.
I think social media is combining all that connectivity to where we're not experiencing genuine connectivity. That's all I have
With
to say.
yourself or with other people?
With other people.
I think there's definitely this norm of expectation of not expectation but comparison. Social media has this huge platform of comparing others. I needed to turn.
I'm like turning both ways.
I was like it has this huge platform of like not it. I was saying that one thing about social media is really unfortunate is the comparison part.
Mhm.
We have this need to compare our lives to
Do
others.
you compare your life to other people?
I used to, but for about 4 years I became content who I am. And I think when social media first came out, it was really bad.
Yeah.
It was to this point where you felt like you have to like
Be
keep up
somebody
with the
else.
Joneses. Yeah, like, and then I feel like people floss so much. Like, oh, look at this new thing, or like these new things, and I just feel like I'm content. I don't need to compare like what I have. And
What were you
floss it.
comparing yourself with other people? Like, was it milestones in life, or was it like?
Oh, it was milestones, because you see, even now I feel, and I think about it for a second, so I see people my age and my friends, they're
Mhm.
like married and they're flossing pictures, or they're talking about like, I got a new job or things like that. So social media helps amp that
Yeah.
insecurity,
Yeah.
because we see it and
Yeah.
it's being put out there. And for me, that's like, I'm just like, triggers, but I just feel content. Like when you're secure with yourself, you become more happy. And in
Mhm.
those things, I find myself like generally like happy for those people. But also I find like, oh, that's really cool. Cause I think I can kind of sense when people are trying to be like narcissistic, like, oh,
Mhm.
look what I
Yeah,
got.
yeah. No,
And I'm just like, okay, scroll.
Yeah.
It's not that serious,
Yeah.
But before, like, a part of me was like, oh, this bothers me. Like, why isn't my life here? Or why am I not doing this in my life? Or why am I not traveling that much? Like,
Yeah.
I find myself doing that, like, but I don't usually do that no more. What about you? Like, because you're 22, right?
23.
23. So with someone your age bracket with social media, like say the ages from 18 to 24,
Mhm.
like, do you think they battle that more than someone who just turned 40?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like at my age, we're still trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
And sometimes I feel like I'll get frustrated when I see people like buying a house or getting married at this age,
Yeah.
which I mean, everyone has their own path, kind of like what you mentioned.
Mhm.
But sometimes you track yourself
Yeah.
like with other people, like at least you're close to, like for me, like my friends, we kind of like place ourselves by, like I compare myself to them because
Okay.
it's like someone that I know that we're on the same goal, whatever. But I feel like on my age, I'm still really young where I'm figuring out, but I
Mhm.
have friends that are like buying houses and getting married and having kids, and I'm still like, okay, well I graduated college, so
Mhm.
what's my next big thing? Like buying a house, but I
Yeah.
know it's still like a big goal that I'm working on it, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen anytime, like, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
within this year.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of hard to not compare myself to that, and I
Yeah.
feel like recently I've been having this thing where like I tell myself like I'll figure it out, like
Yeah.
it'll be fine, I'll just figure it out, and I feel like that's how you need to go about certain things, because if you sit here and like cry about it, it's
Uh-huh.
not helping anything.
True. One thing I just thought about what social media contributes is when you meet those cousins, you don't really see a lot. Those
The
those
what?
ones. When you see those cousins, you don't see a lot.
Oh,
You know which ones I'm talking about. And
they're
cross-
blocked.
and and so comes this moment, or that extended family you don't see, where you have to talk about what's going on in your life.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is something that's really high in your life, that positive that you have to share? And sometimes when you don't have that, I think that's what social media does. So when you go to a page, like, what are you doing? What can you tribute? It kind of like, well, more on like a higher standard, like
Mhm.
influencers or people have a following. Like, what do you contribute? Like, who you are, like, who
Yeah.
are you? And I think like that brings a lot of awareness to that. That's a little unnecessary,
Yeah.
because in person, I think people tend to do that as well, but it isn't
But
so
are you
much
saying
pressure.
it takes away like the genuine person, and it's more of
Yeah.
like
I
picture perfect kind of thing?
Yeah, like social media doesn't have this like this transparency.
Yeah. Well, I know some people struggle where, like, say I meet an influencer that I'm like look up to,
Mhm.
and I meet them and I'm like, oh, they're not that nice as I thought they were. Like some
Oh,
people
yeah,
have this
yeah.
thing where like, oh, I don't believe in that anymore. Like all social media is just a lie. But I feel like at the end of the day, say I'm like an influencer and I'm
Mhm.
super nice on camera,
Yeah,
and we just have like a whatever encounter. I'm like, hey, like whatever,
yeah.
not what you're expecting. Are you gonna not follow me because you don't think I'm genuine, or because Because technically, at the end of the day, you have like you are your own person.
Mhm.
Just because you're an influencer doesn't mean you have to be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
would you like unfollow me or like look at me differently?
Yeah. Well, that's deep because like that's deep because that kind of goes back to like besides that you were following for other purposes either. You weren't
Yeah.
even really necessarily thinking about that
Yeah.
until you ran into them. That's
Yeah.
oh, that's deep.
Because some people have this expectation where like, okay, Cardi B, like she had there was a YouTube video where the girl was bashing her saying like, I did her makeup and she
Mhm.
wasn't nice. She had a really bad attitude. Like that video got so many views because she's bashing her saying she was a bad client when she was doing her makeup.
Mhm.
And she's like, well, I love her. I just thought she was going to be really nice and she wasn't. She had attitude. And she's like, I no longer like support her or want to work with her. And I feel like, is it because she's not what you expected to be, like this perfect mold of her to be loud and obnoxious and like super friendly,
Mhm.
like that you get in video? Or is it just because, you know what I mean? Like you set up
Yeah.
these expectations, like they're going to be your best friends, but not everyone is going to be like that. And like
Yeah.
some people have different first impressions, but does that like determine like, because people are like, oh, social media is just fake.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, that's really good. Wow, you're a lot smarter than you look. I always say this about you 'cause you surprise me
Thank
every
you.
time.
I was going to go back to your reference in regards to like that social media cleanse. How long did you said 3 months?
3 months, about 3 months. Did you remember when the state of Nate, I was gone for a bit?
Yeah, I actually do remember when you're gone.
And I only had my podcast production Instagram up. And I would only go on there just to post.
But when you decided to take that cleanse, was it like was there something you went through? Like you just realized you were not backtracking life, but you weren't like focused on your goals, or was it just because what was like the
It was the overall. It's just like I said, gawking over like people.
Yeah.
When in reality, I'm just trying to find myself.
Mhm.
I think that's like I said, go back onto like the evil of social media.
Yeah.
Like we're all trying to find ourselves, but how are we supposed to find ourselves
when you're
when
focusing on someone else.
when you're looking at everybody else? Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing about like self growth. Like you're only gonna grow and learn from yourself when you talk to yourself. And you know what the beauty of and this conversation is podcasting. I think podcasting is going to save us all because the thing that's great about podcasting is we're having the conversation. When it comes to social media, we're just putting it on paper.
Mhm.
And we're not having conversations. We are arguing. We're going to people's comments. We're like 50 Cent could post a video of some girl getting, some illegal stuff,
Yeah.
and people will go crazy on that. Like argue. It's hate.
Yeah,
It just brings hate.
it does bring a lot of hate.
And like I like bringing up a positive out of a negative. So I know like I always think of social media as kind of a negative sometimes, but to think about the positives, it's good to connect with people that
Yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
it.
All right, with that being said, we're gonna just take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, we are back. Transparency, Robert Smith. And we actually have a fishbowl. So what we're gonna do every episode, we are gonna have you guys and some friends give you guys are the people friends. We had some people give us some questions that we're gonna answer about social media. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer my friend Paula, and let's see how it goes. You can go first,
Oh,
actually.
you want to pick it first?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think I wrote this one. Do you think social media is hurtful or helpful?
Dun dun dun.
Oh, I'm supposed to answer this?
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, guys. She is not the smartest in it.
I thought we were talking about it.
No, you have to. I thought you were gonna answer
I
it.
think it's both. I feel like it's hurtful, kind of what we were talking about in regards to like you comparing yourself
Uh-huh.
and trying to put these expectations that aren't always realistic. That's where I think it's hurtful. If you don't have like thick skin for social media, I don't think it's for people that don't have that.
Yeah.
Helpful, I feel like if you're trying to like promote your brand like this where you're able to express yourself and put up your own content, that's where it's helpful if you have like a positive mind to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it sounds really corny where people on the news will be like, oh, social media, it's kind of like super what am I saying,
Helpful.
hurtful
Oh, hurtful.
to like individuals, and you to me personally, like it's not that serious, like it's never that serious.
Yeah.
But I feel like it kind of is, because I know, like, say I post something and it doesn't get that much like
Yeah.
engagement or activity, I'm just like, what's wrong with it? Like, why
Yeah.
does it not look so good? Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that deep. But I
Mhm.
feel like if you have like a negative mindset or like you're still not super secure with yourself, it will be like hurtful.
Okay.
So I think it's both. I think it just depends like on the person and what you're like looking for into it.
Can I answer that too?
Yeah.
I definitely agree because, like, in a way, social media helps excel like platforms,
Yeah.
and people have made their whole livelihood off of social media.
Influencers.
Like, it's crazy. Like, you can just literally live off of just social media.
Mhm.
And then in a negative way, there's just like it can also like just the opposite act. like deteriorate yourself.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah, of
you are
course.
on a high like what's his name, the gay guy, James
Charles.
he just like for that 3
Yeah.
weeks he got dragged, right?
Yeah.
Just dragged. Bro, lost
Through the mud. He
3
lost
million. Oh, 4 million. And like,
It was a lot.
bro, can you imagine millions of people just unfollowing you? That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's money.
That's crazy. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna answer a question. Let's see. Oh, I'm so excited.
Clarify. The both questions are both for you. Like,
I thought we were both gonna answer them.
Like,
Oh,
they're
okay.
both for you. Yeah.
How does social media affect your relationships? How does social media affect relationships?
So I know some people that don't have social media that will say like, oh, I don't have social media because I think it's very hurtful to like a relationship. Let me use an example. Okay, say we're dating and some people are like, yeah, no, because it creates like jealousy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you like
Yeah.
someone else's picture. They just think like, oh, I think there's this couple that I know that they have social media and they always argue because she's like, oh, well, he says I'm jealous, blah, blah, blah. Or he's like, no, I just think there's trust issues. But I feel like social media is something that people like to blame because I feel like trust issues happen within the person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're over here liking everyone's pictures and you're over here, I don't know, like replying to people or sliding to people's DMs, that's you doing it, not the actual like app.
Mhm.
And people like to blame like, oh, it's social media, where it's actually like there's already trust issues in the relationship,
Mhm.
and that's just kind of a way to like an outlet for it.
Yeah.
But-
That's dang, that's deep. I think like how it affects relationships, it really brings in in a negative way. It really like brings out a lot of insecurity
Yeah.
of your significant other, of just being like, well, are you following other remember Snapchat had like the
like the top 3 people.
yeah, it would tell you that was
But see, that's
fucking up other
that's
everybody.
not like
That's crazy.
Snapchat doing that. That's the people like to me.
Yeah,
I'm
but
over
that's
here
like it
Snapchatting.
brings out that like light in it and things like
Yeah,
that.
it's
So
like an outlet though.
yeah, and then I think I mean, in a way, it can kind of help. Well, you know, it's also funny because, like, you know, you're not officially in a relationship until you share it on social media. Isn't
That's
that
true.
crazy?
That's true.
It's like, that's crazy. That, like,
That's
blows
true.
my mind. You're not yourself until you share something like that. And that's just, like, oh, my God, social media is out of hand. When I think about it, it's crazy. Okay, now we're answering the next question on our fishbowl. Let's see what we have up.
Okay.
Also, thank you guys for, like, submitting questions, like, 3 hours later, so we have some content.
Do you ever get sad by not getting enough likes? Yes,
I think I wrote that one.
I do. I do.
We shared that today.
So when I posted my college like pictures, I got a lot of likes, like more than I usually do. And then I feel like people got annoyed of it because the more I posted, the less I got. And it's like, why is it the first one get like 300 likes and the second one gets 100? That doesn't take away from my degree or like my hard work or anything, but you know what I mean? That it's like, I think it's,
Or
That's the
why
thing.
is it like a rare, like, I mean, I think a picture like that should get a likes, but why is it like it has to take till you
like,
graduate?
why do I care? You know
But
what
why
I mean?
does it have to take when you graduate to get like a
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
like?
No, I'm saying like,
It's
why
like,
does
oh,
that,
she is smart.
that doesn't like take away my degree or anything or like how proud I am of myself, but I
Mhm.
feel like it does because it's like, okay, it doesn't, but I'm saying like when I posted, it's like, oh, okay, I went from 300 to 100. Fake.
She willikers. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I should answer that because we kind of
Yeah.
like walked around. We bit over that a lot. Let's see what we got. Oh, this looks like something.
Still proud of myself
Oh wait,
though.
this one's. No, I want this one.
No, not that one.
I'll do this one. Okay, so it says, how young is too young for social media? Oh, that's a really good question. Oh, first of all, like if you're like okay, so I remember when I first started when social media first came out, and I remember like my sister was like 8 trying to make like a Facebook because Instagram was even like popping.
Yeah,
And I was like, no, I can't follow you, or you can't follow
8?
me, cause like,
that's young.
but I just felt like there should be a boundaries, like, because there's certain, like, if you like let kids follow you, they're like entering your adulthood life.
Yeah.
They're seeing you at, and I just feel like where does the line be drawn of boundaries, you know?
Well, I think Instagram has like an age. I think it's 13. That you have to be 13 to create an account, which is not a thing now. I feel like everyone has an account. I think if I had like
Little Tay, right?
Huh? I think if I had like kids or like any like siblings, my sister's 16 and I think she can have one. Because you're kind of like aware at that age. 16 is not that young.
16 is not bad. I just feel like when you're like in elementary school,
Yeah, no.
middle school is, I think like 8th grade or 7th grade is appropriate. You don't think so?
I think like 16.
I just think it's weird. Like when these
Like a
people,
freshman in college.
I don't know. Like, and then like I don't know, having it that young is just weird. Like it's just, and then having them follow you, I just feel uncomfortable. Like there needs to be that sense of boundaries of like, hey, this is how adults live, and this is our business, and this is what we do, and you guys do some other stuff.
No, I see what you're saying, because if you have like young kids following you, like, are you now as a role model to them? And you have to.
You feel me?
Like I'm not your mama. I'm not gonna stay
sit up
here.
straight, you know, like hide the bottle. Like
Yeah, no, it's like you're putting emoji over things you're doing, but yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I just, yeah, no, I think
Right?
16 is like the age.
Can I have a rebound question off of that real quick? Sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
Now that you think about like you're not going to, you know, protect children from like what you post, but when you think about that, now you got to think of it from a bigger picture. Don't you think about what you post from the beginning? Like,
Yeah, but if I have like a 13-year-old follow me, I'm not gonna. Like, I'm not a role model. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
I get what he's saying, and I always had that mindset. Where I
Like
can
perception.
well, to an extent, like I can leave my phone down, and with someone who's younger, and they can go through it without, you know, find anything or see anything derogatory or inappropriate, because that's just who I am. Like
Yeah.
I don't have those things because I had them
Can't
in
relate.
apps with lock codes. Yeah, my porn stats. Yeah, so I no, but I just didn't kind of like worry about that. But I think as things change, it's not that I'm worried about that. It's more so of like I just think there needs to be some sense of boundaries.
Yeah.
Like I mean, sometimes I like to curse freely, and I don't think that's a good image for someone who's younger to like listen to something like that. Or when I go out, I do occasionally like drink, and I don't necessarily think that's appropriate image to be showing someone of a youth. Like,
But you're of age though. Maybe if you said like you were 16 and you're underage drinking.
but I don't
and
think
that's
our
like,
youth need to see that perspective of it, because that's adult living. That's our life. You know that why. There's like, do they need to know? That's kind of like we're taking them with us when we're going to the club. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's weird when people have like Instagrams for their kids when they're like 3-year-olds having their own pages.
Oh yeah.
That's
I forgot
weird.
about
That's
that.
really weird. Like,
They're like controlled by a parent.
yeah. And I think it's weirder when like they'll post something and the parents will be like, "Oh my gosh, she looks so cute in this picture." Like, you're the one that took the picture of the kid. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you get it? When the parents like comment back and it's like, "We know damn well you took the picture of a child." Like, what? Like,
Shut up.
like the kid will be like, "Thanks, mom, for buying me this jacket," and the mom's like, "You look so cute in it." It's like,
Right.
you took
Like,
a picture
took
of
the
them and you
picture
uploaded
and
it for
you told
them.
him to stand there
Yeah.
like that. That's funny. All right, moving on to the next question. Let's actually have our producer Nate. Do you want to go ahead and do a question for the fishbowl?
Ooh.
Oh, he dropped one out.
all right. So, why don't girls ever message guys first?
Oh, you know what? Let's actually let's shoot that over to a female herself so we can actually hear her perspective. Let us know.
I won't do it because that's just me. I know I have friends that will do it because they're ballsy like that. But personally, me, if I'm scared of rejection, which I am, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go out of my way to do that, because what if they're like, "No, I'm not interested," then you're stuck looking dumb.
Do you think that comes from like a culture or maybe an age? Like, what is the root of you?
No, I think it's like a personal thing.
saying
Like,
that?
I have friends that don't care and they're just like,
Okay.
"Oh well, if they say no, they say no." But
Yeah.
for me, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna get rejected.
Mm,
So
I think that's all part of the growth. Honestly,
that's funny.
being rejected is all part of the growth.
yeah, but I don't like hearing no.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt though. It hurts.
it does.
It hurts now.
It hurts. It's
No,
like
it hurts.
taking a bullet.
It hurts now, but like there's plenty of fish in the sea, and
Bleeding.
it builds up your confidence for the next time that you want to do that again.
I won't do it again though. If I get rejected, I'm like, I'm done. I shouldn't have done that.
There's a guy, I forget his name, but he has a whole book based on rejection and how you can
It's
turn
good
it
for
into a
growth.
positive. Yeah. I have another one here. This is actually
not
mine.
gonna do it.
Okay.
Do you
What-
want to answer that, or
Oh no.
You don't-
Jeez.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Did you want to read it?
this is my scenario? So,
Okay.
someone you don't know follows you on IG.
Mhm.
It's private account.
Mhm.
What's your first move? Wait, like follow right back right away, or you don't just?
Ooh,
Delete.
I'm gonna go first on that one. I don't like to necessarily follow back privates unless they look good.
Wait, do they have mutual friends or no?
Oh,
let's for example, okay, not
If they have no mutual friends, who sent you? Like, you have no mutual friends, who
hey,
sent
I'm
you?
the opposite. That image look good. I'm following all
Yeah,
the way.
no,
down.
I'm not. If you have no mutual friends, like, where did you find me from?
It happened to me recently.
Delete.
Do you not get those a lot?
No.
I don't either.
Oh,
With no mutual friends?
I always. I'm not trying to be narcissistic. I always get those. You
I
guys
don't get that.
Oh, that's so.
And if I
okay.
do, delete.
Really? Some of
don't
them.
really
Okay, so I was really big on private before I went public, and
You're
then
public?
Yeah, I'm public.
Can't relate.
I'm about that life.
Not.
It's weird. I noticed that a lot of people don't follow me to work.
I wouldn't follow you if
They
you're-
look. They're like ugly. Go back. So yeah. So you're the complete opposite.
Yeah, I feel like if you have mutual like friends that are following you,
Yeah.
then I'll be like, okay, let me creep. If it's actually if it's private, I think I'll just accept it. If there's mutual friends, if there's not, like, who say no? Who are you?
That is true.
No.
I'm not big on that. Before going public, which have been about a little bit over a year, I was like, I only use social media for friends. Like I didn't have really like request people to follow me. Now I more so don't really care, but I don't really get a lot. Most of my social media is really my actual
Yeah,
friends.
same.
I have a lot.
Wait, are you saying that if you like if you follow someone that like you look stuck up if you don't add them or what? What was
oh,
that?
no, he was asking like, do you accept it if
Oh,
it's
just-
private or not?
It was based on my personal experience because most recently some girl followed me
Mhm.
and like I didn't see any like
Mutual friends.
mutual friends, and so I followed back just out of curiosity.
She
Mhm.
wants a date.
And honestly, and let me break it down to you just
Did she message you?
if you don't mind. No, like see, I'm not the one to go like fishing for girls. Like I don't care. Like if it's not fate, then I don't want to worry about it. I'm not chasing anybody.
Mhm.
So based on her pictures, 14 of them, and some very familiar. Like I'm like, where do I know her from? Like I don't. She looks very familiar,
Mhm.
and she looks and 2 pictures. A lot of loss in her family. Aunt passed
wow.
away. Mother passed away. Genuinely, I messaged her. I was like, hey, I hope you have a wonderful day. You know, like positive stuff. That's it. Drop it. And then she messaged back, thank you. You know, like you have a great day too. And then the day goes on, and then we somehow message. I don't even remember who messaged first.
You messaged her first.
Probably did. So we conversed, and it just starts to go from there. And I didn't really have any intentions. Like I'm not trying to date. If it happens, it happens. And we did hang out. Cool conversation. You know, just talk a little bit. But honestly just don't think I was what she was expecting.
Mhm.
So like after that, she asked what my intentions were. I wasn't like
That's so awkward.
I was straight up. I was
I
straight
wanna
up.
ask.
No, she's weird. Let's just
She's
clarify that.
young. She's 19 years old.
I just
Oh,
think
never
when you
mind. That
flip
makes sense.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That makes
First
a
of all,
lot of
because
sense.
I feel like younger people just follow anybody. They don't, because you know what they do. When you're in high school, you follow everyone, and you don't even know those people in other classes. So that young generation is like a whole different thing. So they look at it differently.
Where'd you guys meet?
Like hung out.
Yeah.
We hung out at this view, like, cause she didn't think I knew about this view and I pointed out to her like I live like right there. So small world. We hung out there. We got kicked out by the cop that like some cop just patrols
Yeah.
because I guess people smoke weed there. So like it's a constant area. So we just moved to Starbucks. Starbucks closed, so we just hung out in the parking lot, just chit chat
That
here.
wasn't weird.
No,
I don't think I've ever done that with a stranger.
No, I wouldn't have done it.
I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
If I was, I have intentions. Shut up. Like fuck. Like,
with
yeah, like
Clear-
real talk.
clear-
Those are the only
Where
times I'll go.
if someone
I'll go
messaged
on a
you-
drive. Like if we go on a view, like I'm
Get more than a view.
receptive to like FUCKING. Like I would like that would be
You're
my
getting more than
intentions.
a
I would
view.
never go to not to like put down what your goal was, but that's just my intentions. If I'm going more so like on a date,
Well, what if it was a situation where
was
we
it
could
a
go?
date?
no,
Yeah. What was it?
it
Like,
was just
let's
a
hang out.
Let's just hang out and just converse.
Oh, now I'm curious. Now it makes
What's
sense.
that mean?
Wait, so what was the intention?
Yeah.
My
What were like?
It's-
She
it's
wanted to
hard
be
to
a
say.
friend, or like
I don't know because that's what I was so confused about because it seemed like she was throwing signals at me like
Like what?
she like from the
Spill it,
beginning
tea.
like it wasn't the first like I wasn't like I didn't just hang out with her right away when I met her on I like like Snapchat messages pictures
for
here
how
and there
long?
for like 4 days.
Oh, that's
She wanted to hang out at the view like probably like the third or second night, and I was busy editing. I'm good, like thank you though, it's late, and then finally we had a chance to hang out. And that's it. But like I get it. It looks like I'm a thirsty guy trying to hit on a girl. But if you get to know me personally and know how genuine I am as a person, that was not my intentions.
well. I don't think that's thirsty because Starbucks isn't thirsty. Like you going to Starbucks is cute.
Okay.
Like it's not.
Starbucks quenches a lot of thirst. So let's just finish.
But if
that.
I'm trying to like hang out with you, I'm not gonna go to Starbucks.
A lot of Craig killers start at Starbucks. So
That's why.
Craig
let's
killers.
move on to our last question.
question.
We're gonna wind it down for a bit, and let's see what we got here. Is social media a cleanse? Wait, is social
talking
media
about that.
cleanse a good thing, and why? Oh, we did kind of
We were
already
talking
touch on
about
that.
Detox.
Actually,
Next.
Very
there's
important.
One more. I don't want to
Thank you,
read that
next.
question because we answered it already. How has social media has changed parenting now? Ooh, that's good, and I know that's one that you specifically brought up. I remember you kind of touched on that. How has it changed like parents now in a lot of ways. Wait, I'm gonna just throw it to you.
No, go
'cause I'm
ahead.
gonna
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go
okay.
first.
Okay. I did. So I think like remember, I think we kind of touched on it, like how parents use like social media to like show their kid off.
Pimp out their kids.
Yeah, pimp with the kid, basically.
That's what
And
it is.
then does this mean like being a parent? Like, right? Let me see. Let me read this. How social media has changed parenting. How? Because like, yeah, like even like it's just like, do you feel this need to always express your kid, which is really good. You know, you can like show your kid off, and it's really cute seeing like kids grow up when they are cute, because some kids are not cute.
Grow up.
And in that way, but I think it's changed a lot because
I think kind of has to do with like unrealistic parenting skills, where I know this girl that she's a mom and she only posts her child like being smiling in all the pictures. And I'll see other moms comment like, how do you do that? I just don't understand like how you're such a good mom, and my kids are always fussy. And she'll reply like, no, she's fussy too. This is just a picture.
Yeah.
Like people start questioning their own like skills as a parent, and I feel like because people only portray like my kid's so well behaved and they're always listening and they're so smart, blah blah blah,
yeah,
which is fine. But I feel like if you just paint this picture perfect like motherhood,
yeah.
like life, that's where like it affects.
But I
kids.
think when it comes to parenting, you will want to only show a limited side of parenting and the social interaction with your kid, because I don't feel like I really want to necessarily share a lot of moments with social media, because you're also, you know, for me being public, I'm not going to show like a lot more content than I do. I will value the moments where I can do it behind doors, but I also show good pictures. I can get some likes. But yeah,
I think it's weird when you see like a 3-year-old on Snapchat, when I have friends that have kids or people that have kids.
I think it's annoying.
No, when they'll post like, they know how to post pictures, they know how to post on social media, but they don't. Yeah, like they know how to use social media when you're 3, but you don't know how to like count or like use colors or like things that a child's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like a kid should not know how to take a selfie or like post on Snapchat and comment and stuff. But I feel like a lot of people will do that, like to hush their kids, like, oh, here, use this. But it's like, your child's 3. They're supposed to be coloring or doing something and not like swiping and you know what I mean, filtering stuff.
That's crazy. Social media is a trip.
Yeah,
that's funny.
They'll be more technically advanced in the future, though.
I guess, but I feel like that takes away like your childhood.
Yeah, in a way, like it's so bad to like let your kid like sit in front of an iPad all day, like hours. It's just, and then they just kind of like, instead of a babysitter, kind of just throw them from there. So it's out of control. Well, Paula, thank you so much for today's podcast. In its closing, do you want to say anything about social media that you want to share, or just last thoughts?
Not last thoughts, but I think actually this is last thoughts. I think it could be either like very helpful or it can be a little detrimental to certain people. It just depends on like your perception of it and like what kind of person you are.
Okay,
that's it.
I think social media can be a very beautiful thing. I love this era where we have transitioned to social media, and to an extent, everything being social media. And it's a negative and a positive. I think we cover both perspective, and I'm just excited where to go next. You know, what do we do next? So I guess you stay tuned. And I guess in wrapping up, I know you had dropped down some questions that you potentially want to talk to me a little outside the subject of social media. And by this being my first subject, I'm really excited to kind of like answer them and just share some thoughts to that before we just dive into ending.
Okay. The first question is, what is one thing you regret in life?
One thing I regret in life is taking bigger risks. I had a lot of chance. Not taking big risks. I've always been really scared of taking risks. I had a chance I got scouted for modeling, but I actually transitioned to acting, and I never pursued that. I even had an opportunity to be on a reality show, the Railroad, this season when they go to Louisiana, and I was really just too scared to pursue that. And I think if I can go back, I would just take courage and just live my life. I think a lot of times when I was younger, I worry about living for others instead of living the life that I want to live. And that's something I hugely regret. Like, if you had to do something and you're scared, just go do it and see where life lands you at.
Thank you for sharing that. If you could change one thing about your life or your current situation, what would that be?
I think if I can change one thing,
I mean, you could change a few things, but I mean,
I have a list. I mean, of course, I want to be paid more. I mean, I definitely think that. Well, I'm in a place in my life where I'm very content. I'm very happy, and I found that on that journey of the pursuit of happiness, I definitely found that in the Quantum of Solace, you really find happiness in that realm of being by yourself. And I think I've been independent a long time, and I'm happy that I'm taking that journey to find that security in myself instead of trying to find it in other people.
Yeah.
I mean, because I am trying to find other people, but not in that way.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy that I found that. And if I had to like
Change one thing
change one thing,
or situation.
I think it would be to, I don't know. That's really hard. Sorry, no pressure. If I just had to change one thing, I think it would just be to just continue to not take regrets, kind of like the other one. And just be more. I mean, I've always been bold, but to I'm sorry, I'm having trouble answering that. Let's just go on to the next one.
Okay, next question. What are some of your biggest fears?
Ooh, yeah. One of my biggest fears is again regret, but also, gosh, there's
Being
this,
alone.
being alone has always been one of my biggest fears. I think for me personally, I crave to find like a foundation in family. And oh god, I'm tearing up. And so like I think to like the thought of not executing that will make me really sad. But oh my god, didn't we have a conversation the other day?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you for this. So I'll just share with you guys. The other night I was personally, I don't have the best background with family, and I'm someone who was actually raised in the system, well, not necessarily the system, I just wasn't raised with my biological mother or father, and so I was adopted, and I don't really have a relationship with a mother. I don't have a father. I don't know my father. I don't know of him. I never talked to him, and so I was sharing with my friend who I called up like I didn't even talk to you.
Me.
So I was saying like it made me upset because I feel like the family that who have everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and I'm just here like blah. And it made me really sad. Even as someone who's 30, I find that this is something I still struggle with. But you had encouraged me to say, oh God, it's coming. Yeah, reassure me that even though for someone in your situation, there are people around you who love you, who do care about you. And that was such a reassuring moment in my life, because sometimes you have to remind yourself that even though you're not in a relationship with someone and you don't necessarily have the immediate family, there are people in your life who are there to help you and to help you excel and love you generally. And I have to always remember that people do love me. And I say that because I always struggle with being by myself. So I love that I can like call you or have people knowing that do love me, like Nathan Torres. I love that guy so much. And yeah, so cries.
Thank you. I think that was all the questions I had.
Thank you. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Plug. Like social media, anything like
Oh
that?
yeah, let's what's your social media?
I'm only gonna plug my Instagram. It's
I was like, is he plugging something in?
yeah, I was plugging in. It's _ PA0LA. So my family can't find me.
Thank you, Paula.
No problem.
You're a great friend, by the way. I'm
Thank
really
you.
happy our friendship. So
Cries.
that's good. Yeah. Thank you so much for being on my show. And we're about to wrap up. And before that, I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to Transparency with Robert Smith. You guys, please look forward to new episodes coming up. We have a lot of exciting topics that we're going to talk about. I'm really excited for next week. And I just want to thank you guys. Tune in, and we have a lot of things to come. Thank you guys for listening. You guys have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been SpaceKaiju.